There are so many beautiful, gorgeous, amazing places in Genshin Impact, and my heart seems to always take me continually back to Liyue. It's such a beautiful place, and it feels like forever. Like, even though we were here like last week, every time I come here, it feels like I haven't been here in forever. Off the heels of a story quest that was actually pretty freaking incredible, the Interlude Archon quest, which I found to be really, really awesome. Today we're going to be talking to Yelan, about some stuff today as well. I'm actually really excited to talk to her more just because we haven't gotten a chance really to, like, I guess appreciate her as much as we would other characters, I guess. Oh, we got some stuff here. I'll take that. Are you kidding me? A free wish? Sure. Because today is the last day for Farina. So we get 2 wishes on Farina, and that's fine. It's one of those situations where I really feel like you're not going to get everything, you want, and that's the kind of lesson with Genshin sometimes. And then tomorrow there's going to be like a new banner update, which like, that always creeps up on me all the time. Every time there's a new banner update, I'm always like, what, like, it's today? Out of nowhere? There's a new banner? But that's always kind of an exciting thing about Genshin 2. It's like, I have no idea what's going to show up on the banner. I like to keep it that way. It's more fun for me that way, Yeah, you could probably, like, it might make sense to do videos where I'm like, hey, so this is the new banner and this is this. And those videos are probably super, super fun because, like, that's why they're made. They're entertaining. But I also like the feeling of like, ooh, what's it going to be? What's it going to be at the start of the next video? And that's going to be the next video after this is going to be the banner. I'm super excited for this. After we like had that crazy Interlude Archon quest, which was actually like one of the few times when I was playing Genshin that I felt like I was actually going to have to like go somewhere and cry for a bit.
Traveler, Paimon, it's been a long time.
I bet it has.
Oh, hey, Hoishin. Long time no see.
There they go. There they go again.
Fancy meeting you here. How's work these days?
Thanks to the help of people like you and colleagues like Ganyu, better all the time.
Yeah, Ganyu is awesome.
But I've been feeling distracted at work lately. I just feel constantly agitated.
Has something happened?
It's a long story. But my father, he's thinking of stepping down from the Tian position due to health issues.
Huh? What's wrong with Uncle Tian?
Nothing specifically. He's not unwell. He says he's just increasingly low on energy these days.
It happens, man. Like, I feel like there's that's why like infancy and like getting older and older kind of like coincide with each other, because like there's a period of time like from when like, no, I have a lot of energy still, but like still I don't have as much energy as I did 10 years ago, Changes.
He's always said old age comes for us all in the end. Still, I just can't help but feel a little emotional watching it happen to him.
Oh man, yeah, sure, it's a big change. It's a massive change.
Anyway, my father's currently on the 2nd floor of Yangsheng Tea House. Why don't you come pay him a visit with me?
Sure.
He seems very fond of you too. I'm sure chatting with you will make him very happy.
Yeah, anything we can do.
Sure, let's go.
Take time out of our day. And that's the thing, like that's who, here we are. That's who Paimon and, the Traveler are in my book. They're people that take the time out of their day to help other people when they're also looking for help, Is it here? This is the tea house, right? No, it's the 2nd floor, so... Is there stairs around here? Come on. There he is, Uncle Tian. Oh, there's a stairs behind it. Of course there always is. Me just hopping about the place.
Uncle Tian, we're here to chat with you.
Heck yeah.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Hoishi, why don't you go downstairs and get the shop...
This is actually very sweet of us. Like, I know it's very sweet of me, but like, it's very sweet of Paimon and Aether to do this,
I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories.
We're more concerned about your health. Is everything okay? Yeah, don't talk directly about his health. Be like, hey, is everything going okay?
Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry. I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels.
And it is one of those things that like I imagine would just creep up on you, where it's like one day you're like, I'm a little bit more tired than usual, and then next year you're like, oh yeah, I'm super tired at the same time again, and it's like it just happens.
I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
That's fair enough.
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing. Historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice. So a public selection process would not be suitable.
Okay.
We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
But it is actually very like admirable. Like not everyone does this, by the way. Not everyone like thinks to do this. But the idea of like, before you're at a point where like people might not respect you as much because you've hung on to the last bit of like, you know, your position to the last second, you can like retire with your head held high.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
I also understand that not everyone has the option as well. You know, I'm not trying to be like, you know, like disrespectful in that sense, because not everyone has the option to just retire.
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer.
Oh, look at that walk-in. Does she ever like do anything but like an amazing walk-in? Like, you know, I know she does a lot.
Became acquainted with her yourself.
I meant in terms of like whenever she enters someplace, it's always like the coolest walk-in.
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
How can we like, honestly though, it's been like a few days.
It's Yelan!
Jackpot. Uncle Tian here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, like, personally, like I don't need to know the going-ons of all this business, but I don't want to also disrespect anyone, so let's go along with it, you know?
Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing, right?
All right then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tian, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety, too. Don't you think I might make a good Tianshu?
Hire her, you know? Hire her.
Huh? Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together.
I hope we actually like get to like talk to Ningguang, you know? Like, I'm sure we will.
How about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner
Oh,
of
that's
this
sweet.
fine
Thank you.
establishment, this runs on the house.
Tea can be so expensive, man. That's why, like, I drink lots of tea, but I just buy my own and just make it at home. Like, buying tea can be so expensive. I've done it before. Like, when you're having like a hangout with
You're all
someone,
set?
and you're just having a tea at like a cafe, like you do it like it's like I know people can be like, "Callum, it's like $2.25 for tea." It's not that bad. But then like when you think of like a box of tea bags, $2.25. You know what I mean? I can have 80 cups of tea.
Uncle Tian seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tian is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore.
It's weird seeing you in the daylight, you know?
So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingbo, and Jery.
Right.
Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Jery is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Tianwei, Mingbo, Jery. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does the assessment involve exactly?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
Here we go. This is a really interesting mission because it's one of those things that, like, first of all, hearing the Liyue music is like, it's fabulous. It's so nice. But I really feel like it's one of those things that, like, with this game, like every mission is so different, but they all offer something that builds the world so incredibly well while building a character incredibly well too. So that what's going to happen in this is we're going to get so much more information on every character involved. We're also going to get to understand Liyue even more than we did before. And I'm very, very excited for that. That's what this game does so well. World building and character building. It's like, it's really is like, to me, it's a game about characters and the world. And then, like, you know, the plot is important too, but the plot is like, to me, it's a great plot. But the foundations and the pillar and the backbone of the entire plot, the reason why the plot is so good is because it's held up with like a glue that is made up of some of the best characters and world building you've ever seen.
What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair.
Well, make a chair then.
I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Bro, sit on the ground then. Sit on the ground. You're too good for the ground. Your hair is nice, but that doesn't mean you get to be like, sit on the ground.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
Yeah, look, he gets it. Question mark over here gets it.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in
I
the
hate that this is
future.
the cutest NPC they've had of like the random NPCs.
Oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
You know what they're doing here, which is actually pretty freaking cool? I've clocked it already. You know what? I think it's intention. You're supposed to clock it already. You have 3 people here that are clearly going for the new job, right? And what's happening is one of them is super aggressive. The other one is about compromise, the one here, and the other one is super complacent. And it's like, the 3 of them are so different and probably have all the qualities that in some cases you need to like mix together to make a good Qianxing.
Fine. Ugh, they're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
You enter the assessment film, Yelan.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived.
Oh, was those 3?
Mm-hmm. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process. I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow.
Wow. One of them is really thick.
Yeah, they're doing some good work here.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto.
So it has to be a good plan. It has to be.
Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues.
That's the thing. I think that's really freaking good because what that's, yeah, like I said, it's gonna be where they stand. It's not gonna be this thing where they come up with something just to impress the people here. They are obligated to implement that plan going forward. So which means they can't just lie here about what they would want to implement.
There's still some time. Have a
Jesus,
skim
Yelan,
through,
look at this
get
outfit.
a
It's
first
incredible.
Impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done.
Sure. Thank you. So let's look at G's manifesto. G's manifesto covers domestic affairs, foreign affairs, and checks and balances all in great detail. The focus needs to be problem solving. It provides concise and clear solutions to various problems. It's so thick that you only have time to skim through it roughly. I bet. So then we have Shanwei's manifesto. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. You know what that is? It's just like I'm playing like SMT freaking 5, obviously, in my off time, like in the nighttime. Then I'm playing Subnautica for the channel and this for the channel. Shanwei's manifesto addresses many commercial issues and provides some very penetrating analysis. His view seems to be that regulations and incentives are both indispensable. Okay. And then Ringo's manifesto covers domestic affairs quite comprehensively, focusing on people's livelihoods. The core principle seems to be the greater good means the world that works for everyone. I'm kind of with Mingbo. Mingbo, show yourself. Which one's Mingbo? Let's go over here. So, okay, this is Mingbo. This is my guy. Sitting in this chair. This is G. He has the other face. And this is Cutie. You're so cute. You think you're so cute, huh? Yeah, you are so cute. Yeah, you think you're so cute, huh? 'Cause you are. Fair enough, let's go.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
I really like Mingbo's.
Everyone took it very
Yeah, that's the thing. Palmer, you're right. They did take it seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets.
What did you think, Yelan?
That's for me to know and you to find out. We can
I'm
talk
really
more
excited
if
about
you
this.
need
Like, I know like a lot of people don't like political stuff and like things like this, and like I really like it. I like this type of stuff.
We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Chenwei, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Closer than I usually would get with a name. Closer than I usually get.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you?
Yeah, we are.
I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing 2 entirely unfamiliar faces.
Shanwei, I'm just saying this right now. Be happy that you even have anyone here. Like, I don't know. I don't think you get, like, Yelan is, like, really serious. I'm going to be probably the nicer one, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's the Simon Cowell, I'm the Paul Abdul of this table. You know what I mean? That's what this is. And listen, you do not want Ningguang here. You don't. You would crumple. There's not like a bit of Ningguang to make a paper man crumble.
I trust you've read through my manifesto. I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Oh my god, all of a sudden he's not cute. Look how, see how that works?
Mind your tone, mister.
Get her, Paimon!
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact.
Actually, if I'm the Paula Abdul, I actually think that, okay, I think Paimon's the Paula Abdul. I'm the Randy Jackson, and Yelan is the Simon Cowell, right? Does that make sense? If they've done something awful the past while, by the way, I never know this stuff. People always tell me afterwards, did you know this celebrity did this? I never know. So I do apologize if they've done something horrible in the past while. Did you learn that from Cloud Retainer? Man, your communication skills. Yeah, the communication skills are awful.
Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about.
Heck yeah.
With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Joke's on you, I don't even understand how to say my ABCs, so there's going to be an issue here. Joke's on you. Joke's on you. Sometimes I can't even read books that are in my archive. That joke's on you. Maybe the joke's on me there, I don't know.
Oh, is it
My
my
boy!
turn?
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo.
Hello.
I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Civil Affairs, Yelan, what do you think? Pretty good.
I've worked there for, 9 years,
Ooh.
5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases.
Experience, Yelan, what do you think? I think so. Yelan? Yelan?
I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days?
So we can work here with us in 16 days. Pretty impressive.
My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
It's not just you, Paimon.
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some
Yeah.
questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So far, there seems to be like a big, like on both sides of the spectrum, there's like a big problem with communication here.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous.
You be yourself.
What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
That was pretty blunt, Yelan.
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from.
Okay. Well, explain it for everybody, please. For the people that don't understand, like, Yelan.
But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts.
Okay.
Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results.
So far, he's the best communicator out of the 3, and it seems he also has, like, a direct plan here, and there seems to be, like, every...
If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Okay.
Nice answer. All
Yeah,
right,
he did very well.
Next question.
Very well.
He seems like a great
Yeah.
guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
I agree, Paula, I agree. And I'm actually going to say I agree. I would say meh just because I want Mingbo to win because I'm biased, but like I'll say I agree because like that's how I do feel. I do feel like he came along and presented himself very well.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto, which effectively target the big issues.
Okay.
But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings.
It's like this is such a great character design. I'm sorry, it's so good.
Minghua's plan is more thorough and more measured.
Yep.
You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented.
Yeah, he knows exactly the time and dates of when he's going to finish all his work.
But he and Shenwei are otherwise polar opposites. Minghua is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Which can be bad. Like, you can be nice, but if you let people walk all over you, you're not going to get very far.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this, Yelan.
Yeah, there's a reason she's here.
Last but not least, Jery.
Jery.
His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people.
Yeah, and when we questioned him, he got into action as soon as possible. Like, he knew what to say.
What really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tian's. Having someone like Jery take the position would certainly put Uncle Tian's mind at rest.
Then that's fine. That's fine. Like, if that's who you think is good, like, I'll go with that too. I thought he presented himself very well. And I'd be worried about Mingbo, you know, people taking advantage of him.
Great.
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tian.
That was cool. That was really fun. That was super, super fun. We could be like judges for like America's Next Top Order of Vivonius. So what makes you a capable member of the Order of Vivonius? Well, I'm super weird and I do my own thing and sometimes you won't even be able to fight me. You're hired. You can join. Oh, they brought their chairs away. Yeah, that was really cool. That was like a really like interesting, again, this is what I'm talking about. Every single quest is something different. And creating your own fantasy world allows you to do that. Also, a lot of people have been saying they've been playing a lot of Zenless Zone Zero. And some people have noticed that I did download it onto my, onto my PS5. I just downloaded it because I wanted to see like what like the splash screen was. I know it's so silly, but I won't be playing it sooner. Because like the next game I'm playing after this in terms of like the extra gameplay is Honkai. It's going to be Honkai Star Rail. That's the next game I want to play. But like, I've heard a lot of you guys are really enjoying it, which is really good. I love the style of it so far. But again, I'm trying to keep as well away from it as I possibly can so I don't have to like get spoiled for anything. I love going into games as like blind as possible, not knowing a damn thing. I talked about Persona 5 Royal, or Persona 5 originally came out in 2017. I didn't look at a single trailer just because I knew I loved Persona, so I got the game. And I looked at the cover on the train ride home, and I was like, oh my god, all these characters, who are they? I didn't even know who, like, Ryuji was. You know what I mean? I was just looking at the silhouettes of these characters going, oh my god. Oh man.
I see.
Coughs always scare me after what happened with
More or less as I
Tepe.
anticipated.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Jery's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Bo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Jery was with me for the longest duration.
See, now, you can't also just... I feel like this is a situation where, like, I totally get that, but we shouldn't also just only decide on like, you know, how close you see your ideals.
Whoa. So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tian?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Wo came to my attention.
Ming Wo is a
in the
beautiful
course of
name.
My work. As for Jery, that was pure happenstance.
All of them are pretty names.
We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Jery came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself, so I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on.
Sounds like he's a friend to you. Sounds like he's family to you. I say friend because I don't want to presume.
Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see, but it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
No.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tian.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup. Sounds tasty.
Yeah, it does. It does. I've actually I like fish, but like I'm always afraid to like eat the fish side of like soup and things like this and like dishes which I should try more. You know, I mean, I have cod and I love haddock and things like that, but I feel like that's not as adventurous. You know, I guess that's just like a very common thing in like around here, like fish and chips, which is so nice.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Jery purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman. When we've been fishing recently, Jery always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful.
That's lovely. That's really nice to hear.
That flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows how many more chances I have left to taste it again.
Let's just say very many chances, man. Let's go.
Can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tian, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
I'm actually like, I think you'd imagine you'd know what he's gonna pick, right? But who knows?
Mm-hmm. I appointed you as the assessment officer, and I trust your judgment.
Oh, let's go.
Had you not asked me why Jery's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision only after a thorough review of each candidate's talents and capabilities.
Okay.
Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
I wonder what she's thinking. I mean, like, there's a clear, obvious candidate.
Tian, look after yourself.
Good on you, Paimon. I never noticed that chest there before. Good on you, Paimon.
So it's gonna be Jery, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Yeah.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear.
Right, so maybe it's like too good to be true, that he's like almost exactly like him and has this really good manifesto and he's like really well at presenting himself.
The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves.
Oh yeah.
The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels. For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Oh, okay.
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Just appearing out of nowhere?
Who are they? Where did they come from?
Oh my god, Paimon. I have no idea.
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me.
Interesting jackets as well, right?
As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about
Are we gonna do it
Jery?
personally? Similar to her jacket, by the way.
Jery, well, obviously as the most
Makes
promising
sense. Makes
candidate,
perfect
we will be
sense.
investigating him ourselves.
We love how Genshin always makes sense.
Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of things.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique? He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
Okay, so I love how they just give us stuff to level up our characters as well. In fact, like, do we have, I think, Sayu? No, she's at 80. So all these characters are level 80, and they actually have some, don't have terrible artifacts. Like, not at all. Like, when it comes to artifacts, I think my characters are actually doing pretty well, the current characters. And I might leave it this way just for now, because the next thing I'm going to be doing after this is I'm going to get into, first of all, leveling up their talents as much as I can.
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I supposed to turn a profit?
You'll turn a profit and you'll like it.
Come on, hear me out.
Come on.
I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsettias ever. You won't find anyone who disputes that. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Okay.
Even so.
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead, and neither of us wants that.
Okay.
Cool bag,
well,
look at this.
When you
Few
put
leaks.
it that way, I'll accept your asking price. I'll take all your stock. Don't sell a single one to Second Life. Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsettias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
I've got, yeah, we got enough.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called Jery. Have you heard of him before?
Jery? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local community. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Jery never retaliated. And when his neighbor went bankrupt, he even helped support the family. He returned cruelty with kindness, injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character, and... oh, how did I not notice him sooner? In fact, maybe I'm not too late. If I could hire him to be the brand ambassador for Wanyu Boutique.
Oh, he sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you? Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... Ah, that's Jery right over there. Why don't we go and talk to him?
Wait, so he's looking to hire him as well?
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on.
Did I get that? I probably got that completely wrong. Did I
Try not to let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as possible.
I thought he was looking for him to be his brand ambassador
I'll
as well.
just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey,
Oh, he is, okay.
Don't try and cut me out of this.
Again, sometimes things go over my head.
understand.
Sometimes they do.
Let's
So like if
walk and
you want to
talk.
correct me. Capture? Oh, I thought it was capture. What do you mean too far away? So apparently you can like crouch. I didn't know you could do this.
You were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
Look at this.
The truth
We're coming
is,
for you, really.
An old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of
Bro.
culture.
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you.
I'm behind a box. I was behind a box.
Try not to let him see you. We want this info.
Okay. I have to remember in this game that sometimes
Let's walk and talk.
like different like walls have this like hidden idea, but not everything has the same like thing that will make you hidden. You know what I mean? It's not everything's gonna be like super hidden. That's fine.
So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
Man, it's actually like these missions
The
are always the
truth
most
is,
tense for me.
An old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful
That's
of
nice.
you. Leave it to me then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques.
Is he
whenever it's
buying some like
convenient.
retirement gifts? You're too far away. I could see him from here, you know?
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr.
Oh.
Jery.
Turn off the lights!
These days, it's quite
Turn 'em
rare
off!
for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
Okay, so we have to still follow him down here. So it seems like he's getting like retirement gifts or something.
Jery seems to get along really well
Yeah,
with
very well spoken guy. I think he fell that. No, he just went down the steps. Okay, I thought he fell.
Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone thinks Jery's a great guy.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually goes fishing.
Okay.
Do we have to?
Does Paimon not like fishing?
Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Jery because you want to be Tian yourself, are you?
I don't think that's the
Maybe I
case.
am.
Oh!
Maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianshu, I'll look out for you guys.
You know what? That's fine.
You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
You know what? You can do.
Well, come on! Off to the wharf we go!
Bit of collusion, you know what I mean? Why not? Where's the south of the wharf? Jeez, that's far away, isn't it? He did a whole spin. Yeah, that's really funny. I love that the quickest way to like Paimon and mine's good graces is always just a bit of food. Which, you know what? Like I love a bit of food too. Dinner is the best time of the day. This is how you know we're secret. Flying purple, beautiful princess flying through the sky. No one will ever suspect a thing.
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers. Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
Okay. Whereabouts are we looking? Oh, it's literally where I was looking, actually. Oh, here you go.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
We're here to ask you about someone.
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about someone.
Yes, and we're not lying.
We've heard about this young man called Jery, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just wondering if you happen to have heard of him?
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't say it. Yeah. No, Paimon, you can say it as loud as you want.
Ah, yes, Jery. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet someone who's heard of him. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside his studies to make ends meet. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything to that logic, he's sure to be phenomenally successful one day.
Yeah, we think so too.
But
I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
okay.
Oh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about.
Right.
If you're looking to recruit some new members, though, I do know a few top anglers I could put you in touch with.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Every shopkeeper knows when someone says, I'll come back later, they're never coming back.
Sure thing. See you.
Every shopkeeper knows this.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
It's actually like really like a fun, again, like it is more political, quote unquote, but it's fun.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for 1 or 3 for 1,000.
That's so cheap, dude.
You better hurry.
How are you guys
When
surviving?
They're gone.
Exactly. How are you surviving?
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research.
Okay.
We'd just like to ask a few questions.
Wow, she switched identity again.
I love how impressed Paimon is.
Society for Fish Price Research? I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my business.
Oh, yeah?
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Jery who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you what I know.
Sure. And you know what this is? This is actually a crazy thing that happens, right? Usually when people feel like, when they feel like a bit of pressure, like he was about to feel there, when the pressure is lifted, they're not in the same mindset that they were like as they would be anytime. Because now there's a euphoric feeling where it's like, okay, like I'm safe. I'll tell you, because there's like a feeling almost of relief, and it feels like you can conquer the world for a minute. It's gonna come down like later on, maybe when he's at home, and he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said anything at all.
I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt.
Jesus.
No one wanted anything to do with him. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head. And he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tian, who gave him some food. But still to this day, he doesn't have a lot of mora to his name.
Right, but that might give him a good perspective.
I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few mora. So, I wouldn't be surprised to find out he's been selling a few fish. It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business. Don't tell him I said.
I mean, we're not gonna go and rat you out.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people think of him.
Right, so he might be a people pleaser, and it might come down to the fact, he might be. That's why he's like maybe he's always very like presenting himself very well. Like maybe he's like a chameleon kind of way where he wants to make sure people are happy around him.
I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What he's achieved already puts most people to shame.
And nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him. That's all.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the price
It's
of my
pretty
fish.
cheap. That's pretty good for
The
fish.
more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Okay, Paimon, we're not actually fish. Okay, we both are, I guess. That's my favorite thing about Paimon and Wander, is how, like, Paimon will say something that's so absolutely silly, and then Wander will go, yeah. Yeah. Like, Paimon goes, we're taking your gold. And then, like, I go, Paimon, maybe not. And then I see Wander go, yeah, we are.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. Okay, let's keep going.
I think that perspective is lost when it comes to leaders, though. I think it really is, like, especially like with a lot of like big world leaders. Like you talk, whenever they talk about like their actual childhood and like how they were brought up, it's usually like, and it's like on every single side. It's like usually like it's like a world. And I'm talking about the people who are in like absolute power. It's usually they'll be like, it's like, oh, what was your childhood like? I had to work for everything I got. I had to work for absolutely everything. And it's like, okay, what did you do? What did you like kind of like work for? It's like, well, I used to work in my dad's shop. And what's your dad's shop? Google. You're like, okay. So it's a good perspective to have, you know?
Hey, it's you guys. Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, honored to meet
Oh, that's very good. Well done.
What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows everything there is to know. Hence, we sought you out to ask for
That's
your
very,
guidance.
very cool. Well done, Yelan. And honestly, like, just attaching on to what I said just like a few seconds before, I really do feel like you can have a good perspective and like not have been like, starving and like suffering for your whole life. You can still have an incredible perspective. I'm just saying that maybe in the case of like where there's a lot of people who are, worried about money day to day in Liyue, having someone who maybe didn't grow up with the most money possible is not a bad thing, to have someone with that perspective.
Really? People said I know everything there is
Look how
to
easy
know?
it is. Look at how easy this is.
But of course, we also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns away anyone who comes with questions.
Like this always works on kids, doesn't it?
Great. So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know about.
I do love that, like the undergroundness of like the kids in like look at the smile, the proud smile, the undergroundness where it's like it kind of reminds me of Fable, how like all like the kids who were like always around the streets knew everything that was happening. And it is a very common like cool thing because it was a real thing that happened. Like if you want to know what's happening around the city, who are the least suspicious people? Who are the people that like get around quicker? Who are the people that see everything and observe everything? Who are the people that people don't mind talking a lot of crap in front of because they feel like they don't know much, and they probably don't understand much? And that's like little kids.
Now she's lying to a kid.
It seems to have made his day.
So, Master Dugu,
Master
have you heard
Dugu.
of one by the name of Jery?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of Jery.
Look at this
For
shot.
example, I can't remember.
It's okay.
Probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes.
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember roughly when the grown-ups started talking about Jery?
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about Jery in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months ago, suddenly everyone started to like him. Sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Okay, so people are having a different perspective on them then.
Just as I thought.
But it seems like he is much of a people pleaser.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind and virtuous as the legends claim.
Well done, Yelan.
I'm not that great.
No, accept it. You're very good, Master Dugu.
Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Jery stories in the street. They seem like nice people.
Oh, definitely.
Great. So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And I guess I can share some of my candies with them too.
Very cool of Yelan to show her this side of Yelan as well, where like, you know, how good she, like the reason she's in her position, you know?
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to. I'm sure my friend would also like to say hi to them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dugu.
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Dugu.
So the ultimate party would be me, Xiao, Paimon, Shenhe, and Dugu, I guess.
Until we meet again.
Like the ultimate like travel party.
Any of that sound strange to you?
So like, I feel like we'll get a chunkier answer out of this.
Strange? What was strange about it? Jery seems to have a great reputation. Uncle Soon and Uncle Gao spoke highly of him, and Dugu Shuo seems to like him too.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from?
Right. Okay.
To be true.
I was thinking more of a case that like he's like maybe like adapting to everyone, like in change, like being too much of a people pleaser, and that's why he's been able to like be so pleasant.
Sudden? Too good to be true?
So he returns cruelty with kindness and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go. That's a little over the top, if you ask me. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Jery's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, he wasn't interested in the details. That's the reaction I would expect from any normal person.
Yeah.
Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Jery has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months.
So it's very sudden.
His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are these stories only going around now?
When you put it like that, it is kinda strange.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Jery was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game as far as I'm concerned. The problem is...
Beautiful shot.
Do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts.
Right,
I don't think he
okay.
has the mora to pay for a
benefactor.
campaign. Right, and that changes everything. It can mean a powerful faction is trying
There
to
you
gain
go.
influence over the Liu at Xixing.
She's fantastic.
That's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out to be closest to the truth.
I hate the way Genshin like slaps you with the truth like this, you know? It's so true in real life too.
Over the Qixing? That sounds serious. What should we do? Even if we asked Jery about it, surely there's no way he'd admit it.
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues.
Right.
Whoever is secretly helping Jery must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, we should be able to find some hints in Jery's manifesto on who we're dealing with. Come on, let's get back to Yenshang Tea House.
Yeah, it's really cool. Again, character writing in this game always very, very good, very concise. They leave stuff open to learn more about them, and you just learn stuff piece by piece. Remember we used to see like Chi-Chi standing here? She was like, something's coming. That was terrifying. Okay, let's set up here. I'm excited to see how this all ends, though.
Jery's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that don't add up will be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one, I'll take the other. When we're finished, we'll put our heads together. Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long. So we have to get to the bottom of this as quickly as we can.
Yikes! We better hurry!
Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Jery, the fact remains that he's one of his favorite students. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look carefully and think critically.
There we go. Check the manifesto carefully. Let's go. I'm actually, like, again, I want to see how the ending of this is going to be the most important thing for me.
Even though Yelan took half,
Yeah.
this is still a lot to
Very
get
meticulous.
through. Well, we gotta start somewhere.
Read chapter C. Due to a variety of factors, sea storms have become stronger in recent years. I suggest we set up a special patrol unit to deal with sea monsters. The fleet should consist of the following. Covers various issues related to the coastal defense. Read chapter Rock. So more coastal defense, which is important, especially after what happened with Osiris. Rock. Much of Liyue's folklore suggests that Rex Lapis left a great deal of wealth in the mountains of Liyue. However, due to obstacles hindering the excavation operation of the chasm, many projects have been called off. The workers of the Black Cliff Forge have been idle near the Golden House for a long time now. They should be given first refusal if any suitable projects arise. Covers mining, tunnel construction, and rune exploration. Okay, so there's like another, I guess that's another aspect that we could like see as important too. I guess is like the actual like I guess like not only just like stuff like with the chasm, but like there's so much like underground exploration when it comes to Liyue and rocky formations, roads. The treasures train around Huang's Stone Forest and Qixing Peak means the area was weak transport links. Important, super important. The sheer mountain peaks are connected only by rope bridges and are dangerous to walk on and wholly unsuited for transportation of goods. These are areas rich in medicinal herbs and ore deposits. Building a road network around the mountains will be beneficial for everyone. Covers plans to build roads and bridges. This is not a bad plan, and it's actually like been a make or break thing for some places, especially like in my home country, where like a lot of businesses will leave certain cities because the transport system's so bad that it like, and like you might be like, oh, well, there's roads, but the issue is that if the road system is terrible, you're talking about an extra half an hour to get out of the middle of the town, and every company thinks about that when it comes to fuel, when it comes to hours working, when it comes to all this, and they're like, we're spending this much extra money just to get this stuff out of the center of town, let alone the city. Like, you know what I mean? Like it can literally make or break like a lot of businesses.
Oh, this reading is giving Paimon a headache.
Paimon, we shouldn't have to read. We're Wingus and Dingus.
Let's take a break.
Whoever made us read is a cruel mistress indeed.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
That cat's beautiful.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's
Little helpers?
If you're back, that means you finished investigating Tianwei, right?
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had another trick up my sleeve.
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Tianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him.
Right, so maybe he's a hard worker.
The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Tianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Perfect.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the businesses under his name?
In theory, that should be very difficult, but here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost all of Tianwei's accounts are open to the public. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all. Tianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his trade secrets.
So he's like, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I guess like if it's sharing like everyone's details, that's bad. But if he's sharing just like how to make deals, that's pretty good.
It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his
okay,
secrets.
that's
the fact that someone like that can still make mora is pretty infuriating.
That's
when
confidence.
You think about it.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make mora, but instead
to like win,
to validate his theories.
Oh,
No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experimentation.
I'm back! Huh? How come you're here?
Don't worry. He got here only a second ago.
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills and am always one step ahead of the competition.
Okay.
Well, when you're the competition, at least.
You... Whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If I hadn't had something else to take care of on the way, I would have been back long before you.
Sure.
Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Ming.
Okay, I'm interested in this one as well.
Well, we're all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbois struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's chatting with strangers.
We've definitely seen that.
But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very positive. He always considers the things that everyone else overlooks.
See, this is what always happens. Like, you never, like, I know it's like the idea of like, oh, you don't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes people do take a bit of time to settle in.
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of Mingbois at all exaggerated?
I don't believe so. Mingbois is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation he has today. According to Miss Yu, the Ministry often gets Mingbois to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. People feel much more confident in something if it has his stamp of approval. Oh, and also, there was once someone in the Ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbois gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he loses his temper. I haven't seen it for myself.
Sometimes that's very much needed, especially in someone who's very quiet. Like, you know, so people understand, just because I'm quiet and nice, you can't walk all over me.
Whoa, that's hard to imagine.
Well, see, it's one of the things that like really irritates me as well. Though, what happens then is like whenever and I've seen it happen before, where like a really nice person will like bite back, and afterwards they go, you hear them talking, they're like, yeah, you know, Vanessa argued back today. Like, she shouted at me. And it's like, yeah, I guess she was faking being nice this whole time. It's like, no, like even nice people deserve to stand up for themselves. You know what I mean? Like there's this weird thing where it's like you can't, like, people think it's fake to be good to people and also at the same time stand up to yourself. And to me, if you think that, then that's just like a weird thing in your mind.
Like I said before, things are not always as they appear.
You just see people as like what they are on the surface constantly.
Ah, so that's what you meant by that. I'm starting to get it now.
Thank you both. You're free to go now.
Very good intel from all three of us. Well, everyone in this group, I suppose.
So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
We still have a bit left.
Yeah. There wasn't enough snacks. We couldn't get through it. The page turning.
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual entries. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Cheungshu Pool redevelopment plan.
What's that?
Cheungshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there, so there are even more secrets buried deep underground. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure buried beneath Cheungshu Pool. A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an exploratory excavation there.
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been by blowing it open with a special kind of explosive. The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation project was shut down and the treasure became a mere legend. Jery's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seems extremely risky. It seems out of step with the rest of his plan.
Is this what maybe the benefactor wants? Like, maybe to implement like the idea of like being able to get this treasure?
Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure. The treasure hoarders, the Fatui, even local Liyue factions.
And now Paimon.
Did you find anything?
Excavation? Project? Treasure?
The rock chapter, yeah.
Did we read anything similar in our half of the manifesto?
We did, the rock chapter.
Oh yeah! Jery said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right of first refusal if any suitable projects come up.
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Jery wants the Black Cliff Forge to excavate the treasure of Qingshu Pool.
Okay.
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Jery's secret supporter?
No, not likely. I've looked into the Black Cliff Forge before. They aren't involved with any powerful factions at present. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than it's worth to put so many resources into a risky project like this. Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Black Cliff Forge, we should see where they lead. We may well find something new.
Shenwei and Mingbo both turned out to be completely different than what we thought. What about Jery? Is there another side to him too?
I mean, I feel like that's been like a very common thing when it comes to Genshin Impact, and it's always been a very, hey Ningguang, how are you doing? We're just using your places to jump down, okay? It's been a very normal thing when it comes to Genshin, and it's been one of the best aspects. Whatever you see on the surface is only, you know, a percentage of who they actually are. You know, we're in Liyue, and the best thing to look at is like child, you know? Best brother in existence. This is a cool location. Is this where we did the thing with Xiao? Or is it a different look? I think it's a different place because there was this pedestal here, or a platform. No, it looks like no. There was a pedestal here. Yeah, it's a different location.
This is the Black Cliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
Stick him up. There, we got him. 100 years from now, what's this in the book about the Black Forge princess murders? Nothing of note happened today. Nothing of note happened today. Payday. 3 new recruits joined. Can't believe they're willing to join us at a time like this. One of the newcomers is very skilled. He got made the team leader. Nothing of note happened today. So someone joined and became team leader right away.
What's this? A diary?
From the back, it looks like a ledger, but it seems they also use it as a site log. We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think? These newcomers, who could have sent them?
You think they're suspicious?
Music is fantastic as always.
Yes. Look, it says right there, one of them's already been promoted to team leader. At this rate, by the time the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan is ready to roll, they'll be the technical backbone of the team. That'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret texts or steal any treasure they find underground. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Jery recommends the Blackcliff Forge for the excavation project, at most we would maybe do a fresh background check on the place.
So we have to go more in depth just because of our suspicions.
No red flags if all they did was change some key staff.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we decided to vet the staff individually, they'd have had more than enough time by then to come up with fake identities. That's the advantage of planning this far in advance. It was a clever move.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, someone else would have stolen the treasure. So, who's really behind all this?
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start with that worker over there for now.
She's being so meticulous, and I guess that is like important. Like again, we already knew she was like good at her job, because you don't work with Ningguang and get close with Ningguang and like get like a respected by Ningguang by not being good at your job.
Excuse us. We want to ask you about the newcomers.
You want them to teach you or something?
Oh, they're already upset. Look at this.
I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. Fast learners, too. They're picking up all the skills unbelievably fast. My only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night. But they never let us join them.
So they're trying to talk amongst themselves?
I guess they just need some time to adjust. I'm sure we'll get to know each other over time.
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned for the nightlife. I'm guessing it's a long trip to the nearest tavern.
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back to Liyue Harbor to drink at Wanmin Restaurant. It rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for a while. But as soon as the rain stopped, they went out drinking again right away. Hey, you're only young once, right? I say, if they can hack it, let them at it.
That wasn't a sigh at this man, by the way. I did like literally a stretch as I put the controller down for a second. And like, you know when you release air after the stretch?
Interesting. Let's go talk somewhere else. Looks like our hunch was on the Mora.
Footsteps?
These newcomers are very suspicious. Drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. I'll wager they've been going to intelligence updates.
It's crazy how this has all turned out, like, you know, and this is, yeah, like I said, very Genshin. Nothing is ever as it seems on the
Good
surface.
thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd give themselves away that easily, but let's follow them and try our luck.
Sure. She's like her and Eula together would be very funny because they're just both like incredibly tall people who could probably wreck your business.
Hurry, we gotta catch up.
Man, Liyue's so pretty. Because I don't travel through Liyue very often anymore, I think it's always very nice to come back and it feels like a new place again. Ain't that right, Fischl? Our girl.
These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
There's people with swords over there. Is that it?
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way.
Yeah, look at this. There's just because remember up here there was like an inn? Oh, maybe it's not even there. Yeah, it's over here. Interesting. Man, I would kill to live here in real life. With like unlimited Mora, you know?
The footprints stop here. But, judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination was that abandoned house.
That's kind of spooky. But that's what they're counting on. They're counting on me not going here because it's spooky. Genius. Because I'd go home if it was any other day. Smart guys. Looks like there may have been a fight here, but it's hard to say for certain. This is the work of a professional, but who? Poor Fischl's forehead. Compacted mud. These stripes of dirt were likely made by bamboo mat, which means someone slept here. But the bamboo mat is nowhere to be seen now. A fire that burnt out. Something was burned here not long ago, so they were recently here. Yeah, abandoned places like this aren't scary because it's like so close by, you know, like it's so open. You find a pile of fruit pit in a pile of leaves. It seems like someone was here recently. You can't find any more clues. Is that like a sign or like a message you have to send to someone?
Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. But all the evidence has been destroyed. Look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before we arrived.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have blown the fire out before everything was finished burning.
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible. I've checked. All the paper's been burned. There's only ash left now.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff Forge? They've got to go back there sooner or later.
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here at one point, but it's mysteriously abandoned now. To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved them somewhere else to throw our investigation off course.
Darn! Guess this is where our trail runs cold.
Make no mistake, the purpose of our trip wasn't to find any solid evidence. We just need to figure out who's behind Jery. I smelled something peculiar the moment I came in. Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're burned.
You genius.
Really? Paimon can't smell anything. Do you smell anything?
I smell a very gentle fragrance.
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but ice as far as the eye can see.
Dragonspine?
Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a little
Wait.
romance into their writing. When that fragrant ink is burned, This is the exact odor that it leaves
Of
behind.
course, Shaznaya, the Fatui.
Exactly. The evidence
Not
will soon be
Fatui
blown away by the
benefactors.
wind, so it's nothing we can arrest anyone with.
No.
But it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with. I can plan our
That's
next
way
move.
more serious than I thought.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you
What happened?
again.
What happened?
Who
It's one of the little helpers.
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shanghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Jery's regular contacts. Since Jery likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors, so he took a boat out to sea to ask around.
Really smart. Well done.
I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Blackcliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush waiting for us there, it means we'd have had some backup. So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed.
Right.
I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Jery before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard.
Oh.
Fortunately, someone managed to drag me out. When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Blackcliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could. Didn't even stop to change my clothes.
Okay, good job.
Well, Uncle Tian said that Jery once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen. Did you hear anything about that at all?
What? That's news to me. No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you,
wow.
I spoke to every single fisherman out there, and none of them mentioned anything about a recipe.
Man, this is gonna get a lot deeper than we thought.
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even more wonderful fish soup came about.
Fish soup? What fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands on some solid evidence. Well, any suggestions?
Son, some of the tail of them catch them red-handed when they meet.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, the lightning.
Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Jery, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Okay, so tailing's out.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first, we need to do some groundwork.
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high alert forever. Especially when he thinks he's about to win.
Fantastic. Let's go.
Tomorrow morning, I'll announce his victory at Yohai Pavilion. Take a
Oh
guess what
my
you think he'll do
god. So smart.
next. Be sure to arrive on time. You won't want to
That's
miss
gonna
the
be
show.
so cool. Oh my god. That's gonna be so neat. Wait till night. Oh my god. I can't wait. Oh, we got some stuff here. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that. So 9 o'clock? There? I'm so excited for this. I love catching people in the act. I love it. And then we can ambush them. Execute them in the streets. Official style. Blackrock murder style. Okay, I haven't checked this in a while, but I wouldn't imagine there's anything different happening yet because there's an update tomorrow. Yeah, there's an update happening tomorrow for the banner, so it wouldn't make any sense for them to do something now. Can we actually jump down from here? Would that actually be a possibility? Yeah. I didn't know you could just do this. We could have done this all this time. Oh my god, did they set up at all? I guess we'll see when we get down there. Oh, nearly died. Yeah, look, they're all set up down here. I honestly thought that was Kaya for a second from a distance. I was like, oh yeah, what are you doing here, Kaya?
It looks like we're all here. Well then, time for me to announce the results of the assessment
Oh my
process.
god, I'm so excited.
I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian entrusted me with the monumentally important task of assessing the candidates. And now, it falls to me to give him a satisfactory answer.
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush. Just get on with it.
Don't be rude.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in detail. and he easily gets into testy exchanges with other people.
True.
Mingbo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough, and because of his personality, he struggles to win people over. In contrast, Jery is evenly balanced across the board and enjoys an excellent reputation in Liyue. After much consideration, I have decided to recommend Jery to the Liyue Qixing.
What?
Oh,
I actually love
congratulations.
the reactions here. I was actually waiting for something maybe like for his reaction for Jery.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to
Are
hear my
ya?
name being announced.
Are you surprised?
In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. As your competitor, I've become keenly aware of your great talents. Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future?
Okay.
And taking on some of my workload?
Bro, if you work at the Fatu, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't getting out of here alive. Well, you get out of here alive, but you know what I mean.
See. I'm in a bad mood. This is the last thing I want to be thinking about right now.
Understandable.
I don't mind, as long as I can help.
Okay, well, that's all
Look at
from
the green
me.
tint here.
Jery, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're informed of your official appointment. I hope you will work hard and make Uncle Tian proud.
I will live up to the Tianshu name. On this, you have my word.
What about the Fatui name? He's like, Wander, please.
I should
Me and
go.
Paimon jumping in too
I
quickly.
need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order. Would anyone like to join me?
Maybe the Fatui?
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for a celebration.
Bro, I think you might get it.
Jery seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to
I
find
love when Paimon does the mother points, you know? Ba, 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 ba.
Hey, traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that I don't?
I would actually pick you in the end,
If you
I'm
can't
being
answer
honest.
that, I'm not accepting this result.
I also wouldn't mind knowing.
I mean, well, if it's any consolation thing, though, you would have been third place.
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able to leave.
I'd say get out of my freaking
him.
face. Oh, well done.
ma'am.
Well done. Yelan always thinks of everything. Yeah, after persuading,
We
kick him in the
finally
shins.
got rid of them.
Everyone's like, oh, Calvin, you can't resort to violence for everything. Our characters will literally walk into a random place, and all of a sudden you hear, and then we start swinging our sword. We have solved most problems in this game by swinging our sword.
Lady Yelan, Jery has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
I'm so excited for this.
So Jery really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
Yeah. Thank you for using my teapot all the time. It must be so fun to use. Yeah, it's great. What have you done with the teapot recently? I built a car. A car? Yeah, a car. But you can't build cars in there. Okay, gotta go. See you later, Madam Ping. Gotta go to Feiyun Slope. I'm following an evil doer. Oh, my teapot. They stole it and they won't even use it. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, we can just walk down here. Official's run animation is so funny to me because it's so like, again, this is why she's a princess. Such a princess, like, regal run animation. And then Xiao's just like, gotta go to dinner. Jean has a similar kind of like run animation, which is, you know, two sweet characters.
I'm sorry, Lady Yelan. We lost him. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to
That's
shake
big.
Yelan's
That's a big deal. And
focus?
we've seen how good they are so far. They're doing a good job of building them up to have this happen.
Jery didn't let his guard down. Still as vigilant as ever.
Heck yeah.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired. Perceptive enough to sense when he's being watched.
But how?
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection is not an unusual skill for him to have. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine. So, where did you lose him?
Shinue kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching outside the whole time. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Upe had a feeling that it was him, but we couldn't get close enough to check without blowing our cover. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. Another option would have been to arrest him there and then, but without any evidence, that would have been meaningless. So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Shinue kiosk.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. The key is figuring out what he's trying to achieve. Let's go to Shinue kiosk.
Again, like I'm getting the jitters just because I can't wait to see what the conclusion to the story is. I can't predict it right now.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Yeah, a bit suspicious.
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I have to question him?
I guess so.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Didn't you think it was just a little bit strange?
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. I hate when they make sense. I can't argue against them.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little.
Beautiful area here as well.
I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he buy while he was here?
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered ages ago.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. Not something the average customer would order. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here today to pick it up.
Liquor and wineware. I see. Let's go.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques.
This whole, again, like this whole, by the way, I love this interior here. It's awesome. This whole mission is just to show how like freaking smart Yelan is. And I appreciate it. I would have really loved to see Ningguang. That would have been really cool. But then again, it's not over yet, so. He was talking to her earlier.
Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Jery ordered a wanware set from you not long ago, right? We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So we just had to come and take a look for ourselves.
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Jery's choice. Would you be able to show us the one he bought?
Jery picked up his set not long
Great
ago.
voice acting.
As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel of a luxury item. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Jery has taken one, I'm afraid it may encourage the price to go up a little.
Don't worry. Price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on
Look at her three helpers in the back. That's such good,
Jery's
like,
wineware
composition.
set include wine glasses, or...
I just like pointing out, like, it's such a good composition. Just have the characters involved in the mission just to still be there.
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr. Jery bought 2.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Linlong. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought. We'll have to mull it over.
Mull.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now.
I love her voice acting.
All right. See you next time.
I said before, every extra character always like puts like the maximum effort
This is
into their
turning
voice
into
acting.
A real headache. I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank for being wholly incapable of tailing an ordinary civilian without being seen.
Don't be like that.
It's not like you did any
No,
better.
Wupe is cool.
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the physical agility. What's your excuse?
Well, because you're a meanie person.
Fair point.
Oh, don't be accepting your flaws. Lie about them right now, Wupe, for us. I just like Wupe because he seems so sweet.
Yelan, so has the plan failed? Oh, if we can't figure
I
out
think
where
Yelan has a
Jery went,
plan.
there's not much we can do. But why was he buying liquor at Shinue Kiosk anyway? To celebrate?
If so, it's no ordinary celebration.
What do you mean?
First of all, Jery isn't much of a drinker. On some level, he hates alcohol because of what it did to his father. If he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle of alcohol, let alone buy a pair of special wine glasses. No, this is a victory feast, held in honor of Jery's private sponsor. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status, hence the need for expensive-looking wineware. Now, where might we find Fatui who match that description, I wonder?
Fatui officials. Should be either the
Imagine we talk to
Snezhnaya
Child.
Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both
I shouldn't be getting my hopes
locations
about
surrounded.
stuff.
Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our
Oh.
move? If so, you can count me in.
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Jery may be vigilant, but that doesn't mean the same is true for his drinking buddy. In which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change who we're following.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Jery bought that liquor for and follow them instead!
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomatic incident.
Good.
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Jery is gambling everything on this. If we really want to catch him, we're going to have to accept a little risk ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. And like honestly, like we've dealt with the Fatui before. We've dealt with these situations before, and usually it turns out in our favor. Usually the suspicion is always true.
Stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other bases too. Anywhere else Jery might be going. I want eyes on those locations.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Jery may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui officials.
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. You should go and get ready. Then meet me at Yensheng Tea House.
I'm ready. You kidding me? I'm more than ready. I'm the readiest I've ever been. Like, again, I know I keep saying it, but like for some, like obviously like the journey is just as important when it comes to these missions always. But this is like one of those things that's kind of like this mystery. It's kind of like this, like what's gonna happen in the end. Like I'm more biting my nails. Like what's gonna happen? What could even happen? I'm excited.
Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone. He's heading in the direction of Qingshu Pool.
Qingshu Pool? That's the place Jery mentioned in his manifesto.
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Sensible choice, I'll give them that. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going there. It's one place they won't need to worry about being seen.
Oh no, we gotta go get them!
Let's go. If my hunch is correct, we just might hit the jackpot this time.
The cat. Yeah, go on. Got it. Okay, here we go. I'm getting all jittery. I'm so jittery for this. My assessment so far up to this point is it's definitely not my favorite story quest. Oh man, over here? But it's still a very good one. It's still a very, very good one so far. And I think it is again, once again. Oh, remember, this was the place where we did like the little puzzle, right? It's definitely more meant to, like, some story quests are.
This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place.
Like it's.
I've looked into the place before.
Sorry about that, Yelan.
There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me.
Like it's meant to like add to the lore of Liyue, but also at the same time, we just met Yelan, and they want to give you something else to like understand her character even more. I think it's actually like a very cool way of doing things. So it's gonna be like a little domain or something. I'd say this is it? Here it is. Okay.
There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. I can't guarantee we'll be safe once we're underground.
Yeah, then we have us and you. We'll be fine.
The workers left an emergency access route. If we can find it, this will be a much easier journey. Still,
I'm so excited.
Be ready to fight it.
I'm so excited.
Any resistance needs to be taken out quickly and quietly.
Especially with the Fatui as well.
Attract too much attention.
Don't worry, we're all professionals. professionals here. By the way, Yelan, where are your 3 little
I
helpers?
love she keeps calling them 3 little helpers.
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford to wait for them, but they'll join us later.
Here we go. Like story quests usually there's a few that haven't ended on domains, but like they tend to always end on domains. Oh, we have to use Yelan as well. We've used her already, but like it's fun to use her too. Look at this.
Quietly now.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
I was just saying, Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Outlines your fate. Lament.
Yeah, it's a very political story quest thus far, and still is like a very like kind of like I don't think thought-provoking is the word, but it's more just like it's like more about the mystery of it. It's like a mystery, kind of like a detective story almost.
But this shouldn't be too much trouble.
And it's so weird being back in a leeway debate as well, right? It's so cool. If it isn't Gramps.
I see that? That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador here to meet Jery. Looks like he went through that door. That must be the emergency access route, right? Come on, let's hurry.
Is this a little puzzle? I think it is.
This is the construction workers' emergency access route.
It's a puzzle.
But it's closed tight. Trying to break through would be risky. Let's see if we can find another way.
Oh, maybe not? I thought it was gonna be a puzzle, but it just seems like it might be a different access route instead. Okay, there's fire. Oh, okay. It's interesting. Okay, that's one. We need to find the other fire then. Do you guys have the other fire?
Barbados.
These are ground geobishops.
Oz, reveal thyself. Know my sword. Gotcha.
Whenever I have a new, I think you guys can tell is whenever I have like a new member in my team, I'm always like I never play as good because I'm always just like, okay, how do I add this new person to my team? And then sometimes I just revert back to my team.
Worthless. Useless. Wings of darkness. Come, sever night from.
Oh,
Here comes the catch.
why not? So we need to find the other fire here as well though, right? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. That dice is so cool. And it's really interesting for a character that doesn't roll the dice very often to have the die there is really neat. Like she's a character that is very meticulous and like doesn't leave much up to chance. Ah, we have a little. I think there's gonna be it looks like a puzzle. Maybe I'm wrong.
The water's gone down. Hey, look! Is that another way through?
Let's try it. Can't hurt, can it? But look at this. It looks like we're gonna have to move. Hold on a second here. Look at these. No? Like you're saying, like, come on. Come on. Here? Come on. Maybe not. Maybe it isn't a puzzle whatsoever. Little potatoes. I love potatoes. Oh. Come back down. Please. And thus Xiao was trapped here forever. I love our guy. Our guy Xiao. Would love you to. Oh, it went back up again? Because I stepped on it by accident, I'd say, when it just appeared. You can look at this pretty face for a while. Worth the price of admission, which is a click on a video. Here? It seems to be here, okay. Oh, we have to light these two as well. Oh, maybe we just have to, yeah, okay, that's cool.
Busted. By royal decree.
Honestly, because there's so many of these guys around here, like, we're not gonna switch now, but like, it would make so much sense to switch to Kazuha. Just because he is like actually like very good at just rounding up hilly-chills and killing them instantly. So we might, oh, sorry. Oh, we can't change. Yeah, we can change. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, Kazuha would like when it comes to like hilly churls or any smaller enemies, he's just literally the best at like rounding up creatures. So we need more fire here. And there's not one in here? Are they actually gonna, yeah, okay, that's weird. What's this? Oh. Hello. There's one fire. Can we collect two? Can we collect two at a time? Can't move from this side. Okay, cool.
Body and mind.
Again, like they do a really good job of indicating where you need to go if you're paying attention, I suppose is the best way of looking at it.
Wind, hear me. Lament.
We should have just used Zing Show on this guy for sure. In fact, why not? Like even though like we're wasting a lament, it's like okay, we can get two of these guys at the same time.
Quietly now.
And we have a powerful like crit attack as well with Xiao, so it's actually not too bad. Can't open from this side. Oh, it's in the movement path. Nice radish. I'm more partial to parsnips than I am radishes, I'll be honest with you. I can't move this yet. We can move this, which will get us a chest. I'll take it. Wanderer's Advice. So there's some, oh, this one here. Hold on a second here. Wanderer's Advice. Oh yeah, by the way, we can equip this, can't we? Sorry, I'm trying to look into Wanderer's Advice. Is it the Wanderer? Where would that be? Okay, we'll check it later. And then the second fire is literally just move this across then. Very cool stuff. Really simple puzzle that just like works out like, you know, incredibly well. Push. Oh, it's just two of them out of the way. That's it. It's more simple than I sometimes like. I always try to overcomplicate missions sometimes. You guys know that as well. I overcomplicate things a lot when they are just like more simple than I could imagine. Not taking any chances of them putting out the fire just because I'm standing in water. Not taking any chances. Oh, it fills it up. Very cool. Okay, what's that gonna do? Does it open the door?
The waters flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
Yep. So that one over there. This one over here. That one over there. This one over here. This one down here. This one here. This one here. This one here. And then all the way down. I think so anyway. It's orange to orange, right? There we go.
Let's go.
Very cool stuff.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Well, look who it is. If it isn't my big pal, Tony.
Let me leave you a verse. Things are about to get dicey.
Disappear!
I love you. Again, no matter how many times you used it, Lament is still probably one of the most fun moves, just because it's so simple. Like, you can continually do it over and over again. And it does so much damage, especially with an upgraded Shao. And he's not even fully upgraded yet. You know what I mean? His artifacts are not even fully upgraded. Oh man, we're getting deeper into this. I can't wait to see his face. That's what I'm waiting for.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor.
Look at you having a little tea party in here.
I'm impressed.
Tea parties are nice, but like, not inviting us to it?
Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
What was that evil smile?
That went down the wrong way. I've never drunk anything this strong before. It'll take me some getting used to.
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you have to drink with us.
I'll do my best.
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after one glass? I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup.
No. Dude.
Come on, another round.
That's why he's getting
Less
so freaking sick and feeble.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning.
Regardless of what the choice is, man, poisoning someone.
I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting caught.
I know, like people can be like, "Oh, Calvin, you forgive a lot of people," like, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be called out for your stuff. Whatever the reason is, you're still like that's so bad. Like, you're limiting someone's ability to live, changing their whole lifestyle forever, and making them think that it's just because they're fading away and getting older, making it seem like it's natural.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. We appreciate all your hard work. But I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning people. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting poison, and came up with the idea of delivering it through
That's so
fish
sad
soup.
to me.
What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the poison, and this process even makes the soup tastier as a result. How did you think of that?
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have been able to fool Uncle Tian.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tian Shu. Of course, this is as long as you continue to do as we instruct. Aside from Qingshu Pool, we also have some other requests for you, which we will inform you.
Why would he do
it?
it? What is the reason, I wonder? What is the reason?
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me, I will perform them diligently.
Did you hear that? It was poison. That's why Uncle Tian hasn't been feeling well recently. It's all Jery's doing. What a nasty guy. Seize him.
Paimon understands that saying "seize him" is always funny.
Hold on. Did you bring a camera?
Yes, 2.
If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture.
Can we turn the flash on? That'd be so good.
Excellent liquor. We've seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the treasure of Qingshu Pool. It's been a real headache for me. But soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on a successful mission. Thank you, Jery. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the Tianshu, no matter how
See,
hard
that's
I
wrong
work.
as well.
The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment. I think you were absolutely right.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people could only ever grow wider over time. Just look at your two competitors. Qian Wei had wealth. Ming Boa had reputation.
No.
But you had nothing.
You had history and friendship
You were
and trust.
just another nobody. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home for the rest of its life.
Yes, I cannot thank you enough for your generous support.
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told without complaining. Hey, keep up the good work, and I can assure you, you'll never have to worry about Mora again. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be able to throw your weight around as much as you want. How about that?
Uncle Gao said that Jery has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time, so the Fatui persuaded him that he should act while he can. Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming up any minute now.
Man, this is like, I don't know, like I went from being excited to see the ending to like being pretty depressed about it, man. I feel so bad for Tian.
Depends on how Jery plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my fill. Make sure to get me home safely afterward.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass.
Were you?
If you like it, I
Are you
can bring
poisoning
some
him right
more
now?
next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. It is great. Huh?
Yeah, he is. This master of poison.
What the?
But is this like this is a little bit of covering your tracks, man?
Jery, you poisoned my wine? But when?
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
How could you?
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher.
Oh, Jery.
You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? I don't want to bow down to anyone ever again. And that
See what this
includes
is? This is a constant pressure from growing up with nothing to having to like accept everyone, to like having just bow your head. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Accept the little pittance you get. And now he's gone to the point where he's broken to the point he's like, I'm not bowing down to anyone ever again.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation, the embassy will come after you. They'll get to the bottom of this. Mark my words.
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of
Oh,
explosives.
Jesus.
And next door
No.
in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate
No.
the Black Cliff Forge. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set
This
this
is
on
so
fire.
like.
Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives. The ruins will collapse, and everything will be buried.
Don't get me wrong. He is like this. The guy you poisoned is a bad person. But geez, this is so. Look at Yelan's head there poking out. It's actually like so like meticulously like vindictive.
What do you hope to?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. 2 missing person cases will become one as the truth gradually reveals itself. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to blow through the solid floor tiles in the dead of night and seize the treasure of Qingshu Pool. But things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to the accidental
Jesus
deaths of the
Christ.
entire crew.
Like the voice change as well.
Faced with the overwhelming evidence,
Always looking at the fire,
embassy won't
watching everything
investigate
burn.
this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation by you. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability.
This is the last thing I expected for this.
Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan immediately. I guess then, I'll be Tian
And look,
Shu
he's
in my
holding
own
the
right,
torch as
with
well.
a clean record and well out of the Fatui's reach.
And this is from a life of being able to do this, right? They talked about how he was so good at like getting away from people's grasps and like hiding away from people.
Jery, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. That includes the poison, all interactions between us, even my trip here tonight. After I die, they'll come looking, and they'll get to the bottom of this.
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your second in command, Theophan?
So like,
how do you know?
He's like, he went from being like this guy. I thought he was gonna be really timid and we're gonna have to come in and help him. He's like, guys, I'm so sorry, but what we have here is like freaking Inspector Gadget like villain here, or like a Kim Possible villain.
Because when you contacted
and compliment,
me,
by the way,
I also made contact.
Kim Possible is one of my favorite shows of all time.
I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you today. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise comes with a few perks for him. He has been eyeing your position for a long time now.
That traitor! Jery, you...
Shh. Relax. It's over.
Oh my god.
After tonight,
Stop.
Everyone gets what they want. And anyone else in the know is either my accomplice or about to be taken out of the picture. Sweet dreams, Mr.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god, Yelan once again with the bow. She's so cool. She's actually so cool. And the middle of this. We're just standing here. We're just like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we're just. She's so cool. This is such a weird ending.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely. Want to see them?
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan.
Oh, now the timid voice is back.
I happened to discover a Fatui
go
operation
away.
here.
Go get
so
out of
I approached them on
here.
the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yelan, I'd be only too happy to have you join me in investigating this matter.
No.
This is how you want to play it, huh?
Yeah, what the hell? Stop this right now.
Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tian's.
Oh my god, he's so creepy.
Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful.
Yeah, you got too proud.
You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much I can still guarantee.
How?
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests.
No.
In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future.
No, you don't get it, man. You don't get it. You've grown up so much with people like putting you down that you believe that everyone else wants this type of stuff as well.
I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins, what other choice did I have?
I get it. But again, not everyone's going to think like this.
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think?
What would Uncle T... Well, yeah. He's always trusted you.
Exactly. Jery, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people to believe you, you'll never be able to deceive yourself.
There are no secrets you can hide from yourself in your mind. Queen and Cambria. The Running Free. Such a good song. Very true here.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tian ever looked down on you?
Exactly. This is why it's so sad, and he's just thinking he's getting older.
He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away in that moment.
Yep, 100%.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tian was always going to give you this opportunity.
This is what I was saying when I was saying earlier on when I said it wasn't true.
Nothing at all.
Because he had the trust. He had the endorsement.
Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you not for 1 second.
That's enough.
It's so sad.
Life is like fishing.
No.
It cannot be rushed.
Oh, stop.
Whatever you do, impatience will
This is like they're twisting the knife 10 times.
I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself.
Heartbreaking.
Only later
Makes
did
you
I
feel sick.
realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on.
Look at this man. He's perfect.
You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value.
So rough. So rough. Are you kidding me? And there he is getting... Oh my god.
Where's Jery these days? It's been a long time since he last paid
Oh, and
me
he's
a
wondering
visit.
where he was.
Maybe he's just...
And he's obviously too guilty to go up there.
Well, next time.
Oh,
if he
this is
doesn't bring
so
a pot of
bad.
piping hot
What
fish
the hell?
soup, don't let him in.
And he cared so much about
Whatever
him.
you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the
not
safest
all.
place for you.
Jesus. I have so
Trying to
many thoughts on
friends
this.
On both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity
What?
for you.
Really well directed cutscene as usual. Oh, did she whisper something to him? Yelan subordinates and take Jery and use away.
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Yenshang Tea House tomorrow morning.
Sure.
I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and see.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to the professionals.
Be careful.
Don't worry. As long as they're willing to cooperate, this will be a straightforward deal. Get some rest. See you
Interesting.
tomorrow.
Okay, I might talk about my thoughts right now, so then we can just have like a clean ending at the end of all of this. But it's heartbreaking on a lot of fronts. What he did was disgusting, and but the reason he did it was because in his own mind he saw this because of his upbringing, he saw this mangled view of the world where he was not going to be given anything because of how he's been treated his whole life and how he sees that money is kind of the root of everything. His father disrespected him. You know, his life was just disrespect his whole life. And as recently he started to get that respect, all of a sudden he started to feel like, oh, I actually have like a bit of respect from people now. I'm going way too far into the future. And that's why he started doing this. Like he really felt like there's no way that I could get this position because of where I came from. And the Fatui are really good at like, you know, driving that home because that's what they did. They said, hey, You really are nothing. You are nothing. It doesn't excuse what he did for me. I think that like what's kind of sad about it is that like, you know, to me it's just the idea of like this man who has like done so much for Liyue being reduced to just like thinking that he's just getting older when in reality he probably could have had like 10 more years left in him. To me that's heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking.
There is now
it's
no
Baiju.
poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Killer. So
Dr.
cool.
Baiju, is my father going to be...
Do you want to hear something, Baiju fans? The back of the hair, the pins in the hair, and the cape, really cool. There you go. There's a little gift for you guys.
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years.
Oh, man.
It's good we caught it in time. A few days later, and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs.
Well done, Baiju.
At that point, things would have been much more serious.
How did they successfully secure such a seldom seen poison?
Oh,
It
it's
seems
the
the
snake.
Fatui are extremely resourceful. Unfortunately for them, they were up against us.
I love the snake voice to talk like this.
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're recovering.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much.
It's really cool. Really a cool outcome here. So it's not irreversible. Baiju, oh, just the nod of the head. He understands what he did. Is his hair always
You're
tied
here
up, or did I
too?
just not notice it? Because the hair tied up is really
Thank you
cool.
for all you've done to resolve this situation. And I'll have to make some tea in a moment. You simply have to try it.
Are you feeling any better?
Yes. The exhaustion seems to have gone. My mind is steadily getting clearer again.
Awesome.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tian Shu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue.
Right, but I do
after
think
all.
those two guys. I do think that I might get the pronunciation wrong. That's why I'm not gonna say it. But like the really cute guy is probably the best option for it in the end, in my opinion.
Hey, Yelan!
Paimon waving at someone right in front of her is a very Paimon thing to do.
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check in here. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tian. In my opinion, Jery is not suitable for the position, but Chenwei and Mingbo.
Yeah, both of them are very like into. I guess the only reason why I thought like Mingbo might not be is because it takes him a little bit to rev up, but like he's just as acceptable.
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily.
Yep.
I've always known this. But whenever it happens, it's still a dismal experience.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tian not that surprised?
Yeah.
Don't underestimate Uncle Tian. He wouldn't have
There you
appointed
go,
me
okay.
as assessment officer if he
Okay.
hadn't had his doubts about Jery. Normally, the Yue High Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tian?
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. But I have to be responsible with the position of Tian Shu.
Yeah.
When I first met Jery, I wondered if he had approached me with a hidden agenda. So I secretly investigated him. I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. He just saw me as an ordinary fishing friend. In the end, even he changed. But when did it start?
What if none of this had ever happened?
I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a level playing field. Family background and fame mean everything to many people, but I don't attach great importance to them. I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tian Shu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things. What I really admired about Jery was his intelligence and resilience.
I have to admit, he's a smart guy and very cautious. The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk, but Jery was still extremely careful with the poisoning. He chose that specific liquor from Xingyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison, and he chose to wait until the Fatui official was drunk and had his guard down before delivering it to him. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. As the amount of liquor went down, he'd shake the pot to release the poison from the compartment into the liquor. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Jery would have drunk the poisoned wine himself, and then found an opportunity to take the antidote shortly afterwards.
But that's still really dangerous.
Yes, had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate to put himself in harm's way to achieve his goal.
How is Jery now?
Of course you're thinking about him, you perfect man.
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei says, everyone who breaks the law has to pay the price.
Unless you're my best friend.
Still,
I let you
he's
away with stuff.
cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around to keep him safe from anything the Fatui might be planning.
A deal? Does this have
Yeah,
to
I'm
do with
interested
what
in
you
this. I
said
wonder if
to
we're gonna
him
find
when
out.
you arrested him?
Yes, Jery's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinates as soon as I realized. But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might have the chance to catch a big fish.
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately, it slipped off the hook at the last second.
Uncle Tian?
Uncle
Yelan,
Tian, the way she
what
says
are you
it.
talking about? Paimon doesn't understand.
The way she says it's so cute.
Jery colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, to put it the other way around, the Fatui made an attempt to interfere in the Tianshu selection process. With Yusupov in our hands and a statement from Jery, we could afford to continue with a diplomatic offensive. Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second in command. Then we'd have a pawn in the ranks of the Fatui. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options.
So this was your real plan. And honestly, like, that makes sense. Like, to have someone who has that much information about the Fatui?
Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into this case?
So, okay, well, did your plan succeed?
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on to Lady Ningguang. But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone, along with all the evidence.
The Fatui must be spying on us. Otherwise, they'd never been able to respond so quickly.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger Regrator got involved.
Regrator?
The Fatui's main forces aren't concentrated here. Regrator was only treating this as a peripheral
Do we know the name
concern.
Regrator?
It's a pity that Theophan got away.
But
knowing
still.
which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue is something.
Yep, that's a big
Gives
deal.
me a starting point for my next mission.
No, that's a massive deal. Like the fact, like, you know, because if, like, you know, after what happened with Child as well, like, you know, it's honestly like a very, very important. I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to do process of elimination. I know like a lot of their names. Which one would be Regrator? Because I know like Child. I know you know, Dotori. We know like the little girl character is not Regrator. We know Mr. Pringle's not Regrator. We know the main guy isn't Regrator. We know it's not Archie. We know she's not the one. Is it the guy who has like the fancy hair with the glasses? Maybe then. Again, I don't know like all their names off by heart, but I'm guessing it's probably either him or what was the other one? No, it couldn't be the girl either. It's not the girl. I know it's not the girl either. Well, it could be. It could be the girl or the guy with the glasses then. That's what I'm thinking then. Okay.
I have to ask, Yelan, do you have any desire to take over the position of Tianshu yourself? I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yenshang Tea House. In my estimation, You are more than competent.
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement. Although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role. As Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved in anything truly clandestine or face any real danger.
Very true.
All right, I'm done here. Time for me to go. I'm heading off again in a few days.
Working hard all the time.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed. It's for me to know.
Yeah, you
and
get
you
us.
to find
You
out.
get us. Paimon's like, ooh. Paimon's excited.
But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves
Look at the cat.
involved in other people's business all the time, you're sure to get caught up in another misadventure.
Yeah, that's a
before
good
too
way of
long.
putting it.
Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you.
Yeah.
A lot of people are watching you for a lot of reasons.
So this was...
If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tian.
Super important.
After the recent turn of events, I'd say he owes you
Nah,
one,
not at all.
wouldn't
I'm
you?
just happy he's better. Oh, there's the two guys. They're listening in the conversation. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's have a slight conversation about this. I've talked about most of my thoughts on why this happened and what I think about it. But to talk about mostly as well, I want to say, like why I think this in the end of the story is important. It's just one simple line, and that is the idea that Fatui are everywhere and they're not stopping. Even after what happened with Osiris, even what happened with the Scarlet Witch herself getting burnt to a crisp, you know what I mean? Even her dying is another thing, like Signora, even her dying didn't stop everything. You know, these guys aren't stopping. We saw in the trailer for the Winter's Night Lazo, they're keeping going. We have some achievements, did we? Oh no, commissions. Oh, we got a commissions rewards, yeah. Really, like, I just find it so freaking interesting what's happening here. And I'm actually, like, so freaking excited to see more of what's happening with the Fatui. And I think as well, like, this was just a Yelan story. That's what it is. Like, it was very important for Liyue to see, like, the going-ons behind the scenes of things, to see how important it was to some people. It was also just a lesson in us not trusting absolutely everyone we talk to and having, like, a little bit more of a knowledgeable interaction with people. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's also a fair way of putting it, too. Do we have enough? Oh, we can probably... Wait a second. We can probably have enough for Witch if we do... a wish if we do our achievements, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's what the lesson is. But for now, guys, that's probably going to be the end of the video. Do we have enough for a wish? No, we don't know, which is fine. That means officially we didn't get Farina. But like I said at the start of this, and I told you guys from the beginning, like, we have so many characters that I'm actually, like, pretty okay with that. I'm pretty okay with that. And it's one of those things where, like, to me, even though it would be cool to get Farina, it's like, I can't ask for more than I've already gotten by the Genshin gods, and from you guys as well, always supporting me as well, have been so incredible all this time. We have a great host of characters, and I'm very, very happy. Guys, thank you so much for watching this, and I will say thank you to the Never Gonna Pay the Baby guys here on Patreon, TieFirer2, Jamie Bull, Janet Banana, The Ghost of Itazuma, Felicious Felix, George Candelaria, Eskun, Yuld, Radish, Fruity, Anusa, Ciabatta Bread, Malcolm Conde, V Mika, Jeff Trapp, and Lynx Markey. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.